Hello, it's me Philip and welcome back to the channel. In this box I'm expecting to find a pair of Sony headphones. There's an awful smell of tobacco smoke. I hope the person who's these have been on is not a smoker. Yeah, they smell of smoke. I can't possibly wear them. There was no mention of smoke in the listing. So this is the original listing. Quite good photographs. The seller's got 100% positive feedback, but these stink of smoke. So it says, no longer charges, was working fine when used last, solid spares or repair, in great condition as was used sparingly. So I think I'm going to have to email the seller and get these sent back. Does he accept returns? It's been that long since I've had something on eBay that actually smelled of smoke. It does say returns accepted through to the 8th of Jan. But these are stinking. I've been in touch with the seller who sent us out those headphones, and I said, hello, I can't accept these, they stink of cigarette smoke. His listing did have returns accepted. So he's replied, sorry for inconvenience, the item is spares or repairs, so I'm unsure of the conditions you deem acceptable for parts. You're welcome to return them anyhow via Pays shipping. Many thanks. So now I genuinely didn't know this, but when you return an item on eBay, it asks you why are you returning them. It gives you a list of so many options. So I clicked wrong description or whatever, something about the description doesn't match up. So I clicked that and it said returns are free. So what happens then is it appears from his response he says, no worries, as long as you don't expect me to pay for the shipping, I'll happily refund you. So I clicked wrong description, and that must mean that he has to pay for the return postage, because he sent us this. He sent us this back saying, I've seen the rationale you've raised for the return. You are attempting to get free delivery. As someone who was sold on eBay, it's disappointing that you are abusing the system to save yourself £3 due to your own particular use case. Once received, I will be deducting the shipping costs from your refund. I will also report you for abusing the system. Now, it was I was quite prepared to pay the £3 postage to return it. I wasn't questioning that, but I didn't realise that when I clicked seller's description wasn't right, that eBay would automatically do that. So what happened next was eBay says the seller has asked customer support to review the case and make a final decision. So he must have raised a claim. So then I get this, we're sorry you had a problem with your purchase, we're issuing you with a full refund. It wasn't my intention for that to happen, but I wasn't really bothered about the £3, but it was a genuine mistake. I didn't understand how it worked. but they did stink, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. So the next thing I bought was this little Tetris game that doesn't work. I was hoping to do a video on the headphones, and this cost me £3.99. Tetris, spares or repair. So this should just be a pretty straightforward fix, I would think. Yeah, gobbledygook for the Nintendo logo. First port of call, some IPA. They look pretty clean. I don't think that's going to do it. Nope, still gobbledygook. Right, which one is it? Is it this one? You need a game bit screwdriver to get these open. And then it just slides like that. Oh, we've got some signs of corrosion in there. I was expecting to see a chip that you can just solder the pins back on, but this does look quite corroded. I think we might have to pop this underneath the scope and have a look. See some broken traces perhaps. It's one of them awful blob chips. Right, see if my scope's working today. Perfect. There we go. Right. What we got? We do have some corrosion on the front, but I think the back I think that's going to be where the problem lies. Right about there. So we'll get some white vinegar on there and see what happens. Not a lot. Let's brush this off with a fiberglass pen. That big chunk missing from there. That surely must go along there. I mean, it's only Tetris. Is it worth it? Look at that poor capacitor. Considering the fact that there's only one chip, I would expect every one of these connections on the bottom goes to that chip. It's got to, hasn't it? So do I just start randomly checking these, or shall I check each one of these to the chip. This one at the top, right at the top, should come down to this one. Blooming hell. It does. How does that work? I can't believe it. That one, no. That one does. That one does. That one does. There's a one right on the bottom here. Wow. Ground. Ground, I think. I'm surprised that that actually works. That one doesn't. That one does. That one does. So I've got one. What? This one. So it's this one that doesn't work. Can it be just one? Works to there. So is it just this? I am flabbergasted. So let me just put a little trace on there. And we'll test that again. I'm going to put a little bit of no clean flux on. A dab of fresh solder. A little bit of trace repair wire. I'm going to try and get through that hole if I can. That might be bunged up. Yep. Snap that off from the other side. And then this side. There we go. Clean that off. And that'll be it. Fixed. First time. I betcha. Obviously I'll clean this up. I don't know if that'll clean up. Will that clean up? No, it's stained. Stained with something nasty. Right, like I said, first time, watch this. Nearly there. Try again. Nope. Must be another one. Can it be these bits, surely? Could be that capacitor, but I wouldn't have thought so. I'll check my work. Yeah. And one goes there, goes there, goes there, that one. There, this one, outside, and there, this one. That way. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, so that works. That works. That works. That's these. Right, so I kind of find a problem with that side. Uh-oh. I don't like it when I'm running out of options like this, because it could be the chip. Please find one. Please find one not working. Ah. Oh dear. Capacitor isn't shorted. Unless there could be a problem. This could be coming up as making contact, but it might have a resistance a little bit too high. Or there's a problem with that chip. Could still be these, I suppose. They just scratch off. Let's try that after we've scratched those off. There's nothing to clean up on the back. Hey, look. It's worked. I can't believe those little tiny bits stopped it from making a contact. One faulty trace and a little bit of corrosion. Right. Just a couple of little bits of contaminant. Contaminant, that's a good word. So we'll just give that another clean. Do the back there where I've done that solder, that trace repair. I mean, the traces aren't great. I don't think it's really worth going over them and repairing them with some trace wire when they're working. Especially for, well, again, that's only cost us £3. That's not coming off. Something must have been spilt in there. They look like fingerprints. So that could be my new test game. And my copy of Tetris that's in a nice condition can be sold along with a Gameboy. So with those headphones that had to go back, and one little trace repair done on that, it's not going to be much of a video unless I can find something else to add to it. So I don't know if this is the end of the video or I will add something else on. But if it is the end of the video, thanks for watching. And that's how you repair a Gameboy that won't load.